Happy Easter, everyone! Welcome to the Easter special here at the Art Life YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am yet, my name's Mrs. B. I'm an art teacher, originally from Melbourne in Australia. However, I've just moved up north to the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, and so that's been really fun moving, but it means that I now have a studio and I can film from a really colourful environment here, and I can make more and more videos. So make sure you've subscribed to me because I've got heaps of really fun arty videos coming up. Welcome to the Easter special. This lesson is all about marbling. Marbling is an art technique where we get colours to kind of intertwine with each other. We don't want them to mix completely, but we want them to kind of mix in toward each other and kind of intertwine. It's hard to explain, but I'm going to show you what it means. So marbling can be done in lots of different ways, and we're going to have a go at creating it for a background, a bunny, and a chocolate treat for Easter as well. So at the end of it, you might end up with something like this. You can see this is an example, and this is an example of marbling. And we're going to use some things from our house that you might have. Things like food dye, shaving cream, and some chocolate. So let's get set up and we'll get started with this really fun Easter exploration. Hi legends, and welcome to our Easter inspired lesson for today. Today we're going to, oh, that's just disappearing. Okay, let's try that again. All right, take two. Welcome to our Easter inspired lesson for today. I'm going to teach you how to create a gorgeous little bunny and add some chocolate as well. So we're doing a bit of cooking, a bit of creating today. And I'm going to actually teach you a few different ways to do something called marbling. Marbling. And marbling is essentially kind of getting colours to interact with each other and intertwine like this. Think of a big piece of natural stone or marble. The veins inside the marble kind of curl around. They might interact with each other like that. So today, marbling is the main technique we're going to learn. Later on, we're going to have a go at creating some marbled chocolate. For Easter, of course, we need chocolate. And I recommend grabbing some white chocolate. I'll show you why later, but you will also need some different yummy things from your cupboard. You can go out and buy some special things, but these things I actually just had lying around, hundreds and thousands, some little M&Ms and some lollies. I'm going to teach you how to create the yummiest, most exciting chocolate you've ever seen. And it's a bit arty, and you can hand it out to your friends or family for Easter. So grab those yummy things, but we'll do that a little bit later in the video. For the first part of the task, and the arty part, you're going to need two pieces of paper. They can be different colours, or they can just be plain old white. It doesn't really matter. You will need a tray, some sort of vessel that you can put some shaving cream into. Yes, shaving cream. Now, this could also just be, a piece of foil if you have it, just to protect whatever surface you're on. Shaving cream makes a lot of mess, as does food dye, and that's our next material that you'll need today. I've got every colour of the rainbow because I like to decorate cakes for Sadie and Delilah for their birthdays. But you don't need this many, just grab what you have. You'll probably need maybe 3 or 4 at a minimum. The first piece of paper, I'm going to use greens. Maybe a bit of green, maybe a bit of yellow, because I want it to kind of look a little bit like a grassy meadow. Then for the second piece of paper, I might use some different colours. Maybe these ones here. Some blue, purple and pink. Now please feel free to mix this up. You don't have to make it exactly like mine, but that's sort of where we're going with it. Don't forget that food dye is super, super messy. You can probably already see my hands are really gross just from touching the container of the food dye. Now, food dye dyes things. That means it changes its color. if you get food dye on your clothing, if you get food dye often on a stone bench top, it can actually ruin it. So please make sure you put a big tablecloth down, or you wear an apron. You just be super, super careful, or you might even need an adult to help you with it. So now that you've got all of these fun things, we're not going to do the shaving cream at the same time as the chocolate, because that could go a bit gross and messy. So let's put that chocolate to the side, and later in the video I'll show you what to do there. Okay, this is fun, guys. I've got my paper ready, got my food dye ready. Woohoo! Are you ready? Shake, shake, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, shaving cream. Oh, so fun. All right, gooey goodness. You probably don't need this much, let's be honest, but it's a bit of fun. I really want to touch it, but I'm not going to. I really want to touch it. No, I'm not going to. Okay. Now, with your food dye, your grassy coloured food dye, we're just going to put a couple of drops. Now, this is where an adult might need to help you, because if you pour this all in, it's just going to go gross. So you just need, ready, drop, eat, drop. Oh, see, that was a lot. Ah, that was a lot too. Okay, that's enough. And I'm going to put a little drop of green over here. Plop, plop. All right. I don't really know what the difference is between these two, but why not, hey? Oh, what a mess. I'm such a grub. Art teacher. All right, so we've definitely got enough food dye on there. The next thing you'll need is something that you can sort of mix this all around with. You can just use a pencil, or you could even use your finger, but just be aware, whatever you use, it's going to get food dye on it, and it's probably going to stain. So I'm just using like a wooden skewer here, and I'm not going to mix too vigorously. I'm not going to go nuts, but I am just going to marble these colors in together. Can you see that? The colors are kind of intertwining. We don't want them to mix completely. If you just went like that, it would just, the color would just go like a light kind of green, and it would just be boring and plain. But that's not really what we're going for. We're going for this kind of really cool design where the colors mix together, intertwine with each other. So you can just do whatever you want, really. Spread it out. Woo. It's very therapeutic. And that's where young kids would love this. It's really fun. Sadie and Delilah will be really jealous that I'm doing this without them. Don't tell them. All right, that's enough there. And what I'm going to do is now make a print with my paper. White paper is going to work beautifully. All you need to do is just hold it like a U. Can you see I've made sort of a U shape like that? I'm going to dip it down at the bottom of the U and just press a little bit. Not too much. We don't want it to like squirt out the sides, but just sort of get it to the edges if you can. All right. So squishy and fun. Are you ready for the big reveal? Okay, I'm gonna grab the corners and lift them. Ooh. Oh, okay. That looks awesome, but it's not actually the finished product. If I let that dry, I don't know, it'd be really bumpy and gross. What I'm actually gonna do is scrape off the shaving cream. Put that to the side. Can I suggest that you put down a towel or something if you don't want your table or your tablecloth to get really gross? All right, because it's going to make a mess. I'm just going to use a ruler. You can pretty much use anything that's sort of flat, and then you just take away the shaving cream. Gross. But what you're left with is a pretty awesome artwork. Now you can keep going with this and make more and more prints. If you want to do more than one, you can just use that. You don't have to put any more food dye on there, but just try to get all the shaving cream off. You can see that a really cool kind of marbled effect is then printed onto the paper. And it looks keep going. Up and down. And across. I've got something called food dye gel, which is a little bit kind of goopier. I'm just doing straight lines. I'm going to see what happens. All right, man, I could just keep doing that all day. Cover up my hole there, see? Okay, time to stop. Now I'm going to print my bunny. So the side that I drew on is what I would call the ugly side. It's got my pencil mark. So that one is facing up and we want the good side facing down. Ready? Here you go, bunny. You need a shave. Try your best not to get it on this side. Remember, it just makes an absolute mess. Ready for the reveal? Ooh. All right. I'm double dipping. You see I'm doing a few different layers. I've lifted it and put it back down again. I've done that a couple of times. I'm going to see the difference. Time to scrape. Woo! Looking good, bunny. Sorry about your ear. Cool, man. Now, you can actually keep going. The paper might get a little bit soggy, but I'll show you what happens. Just if you really enjoy this part of it, I thought I'd show you. So keep going with your marbling fun. As long as the colours haven't combined too much, there's still colour in there. So let's use it, hey? I'm going to dip again. Oh, it's really quite satisfying. Don't know if you're getting that. And scrape. So you can see a few different layers are being created. You could keep going if you want to. It might start to look a little bit messy and your paper might go a little bit soggy. So I'm going to let that dry for a little bit before we do the next step. I just wanted to show you that you can reuse this shaving cream time and time again. So that's the third print I've made without adding any extra food dye. And you can see there's still heaps of colour left. So keep going and keep reusing it if you like. Just make some fun Easter cards or things like that, just with whatever paper you have. Now, I quite like this a bit better. So I'm gonna ditch my yellow bunny. Sorry, man. And I think I'm gonna cut this out to make a new bunny. There we go. Bunny take two. Now, remember when I said that food dye has the power to change the colour of most things, your hands and your clothes? Well, for the little bunny's tail, I was thinking it might be fun to grab a piece of material. If you have it, this is just a piece of scrap felt. And I just wanted to show you that it does indeed work on things like this. I'm going to dip in my felt. Just use a little scrap of whatever you have. Scrape this away. Cool, hey? Simply cut it out into a big bubbly circle tail. Circles are really hard to cut, so you could even choose to trace around something circular like a cup to get your shape just right. Now, in the event you don't have any material, which I understand a lot of people might not, just use another piece of paper and you could use that as your tail for your bunny. Well done, everyone. You've made a gorgeous meadowy background, a cute as a button little bunny that we're gonna glue really, really well. And we're gonna mix. got all my chocolate out there. That's 2 blocks of white chocolate. I'm gonna get my skewer again. You can use pretty much anything. And I'm gonna marble. Check this out. I'm gonna bring the colors into the middle. Let the colors play with each other. Again, we don't want to mix it too much because we don't want the colors to just combine. We want them to make this beautiful sort of awesome color there. We can bring the colors into one another. There we go. And then we just want to sort of shake it a bit, just to flatten it a bit more. Make it nice and flat. Got a few bubbles going on, don't we? Pop, pop. Pop them if you want to. It's not a big deal. All right. Now, this is a fun added extra. On the top, have a bit of fun and be creative, adding some sprinkles. Ooh, sugar, essentially. I've got some rainbow kind of pearls I can drop on. Ooh. I can pop them in little blobs or just random. Just use whatever you have at home. Different textures. It's like an artwork. Oh, yum. I'm going for a bit of a colour scheme here, so I'm only going to choose ones that kind of suit. Like green. Bit of blue. Obviously make sure your scissors are nice and clean. Please make sure you put in the comments below, which one was your favorite? Did you love making this beautiful artwork out of chocolate and sugar? Or did you love making the bunny out of shaving cream and having a bit of fun with colors? Oh, I don't know what I would choose. All right, I'd say that's probably enough. What do you think? Yum, chocolatey goodness. I'm gonna pop that in the fridge. Doesn't actually need all that long, maybe 30 minutes, and I'll be back then. All right. Well, this has been in the fridge for, I don't know, about an hour. And you can see it's nice and hard. Not so glamorous on that side, but now the fun part, we're just gonna smash it. Break it into chunks. And that's a perfect little slice for a kid, I think. You can give it to your friends, your family, cousins for Easter. Wrap it up in a nice little bag. And I'm sure it tastes delicious. So it's as simple as that.
I really hope you've enjoyed yourself today and you've done a hopping job of using marbling with shaving cream and food dye. And please make sure that you like and subscribe this video because it helps me out a lot at my channel and it means that I'll be able to create more and more for you in the future. So see you later next time.